In northern Italy, in a Piedmontese village,
Fontanito d'Agogna.
in the small hamlet of,
Croce dei Mazzoli, now called Croce.
lived a man who was born on June 21, 1796. His name was Luigi Tarisio. He was trained as a carpenter and he played the violin. But his great interest was to collect master violins from Cremona. He collected only high-quality violins and built up a collection of fine master violins. Amati, Guarnerius, Maggini, Bergonzi, and finest of all, Antonius Stradivarius. He wandered and traded, in search of ancient masterpieces to save. And often he exchanged a poor violin in perfectly fine condition with a precious violin in poor condition, which he then repaired and restored to its original splendor. Luigi, who was a carpenter, carried out repairs in the houses. And he was happy when the fee was a fine violin. He could distinguish from afar a master violin among ordinary violins. Gradually, his house was filled up with violins. They hung on the walls and ceiling. The space in the house gradually became too cramped, and therefore he wanted to sell any of the less good violins. He decided to go to Paris, because he knew that there was an opportunity for a good deal. He wandered for many days and nights. And finally he reached Paris. He first visited the violin maker Aldrich. But it was with the master violin maker Vion he made the best trades.
Hello.
Hello.
I have fine Italian violins for sale.
I will give 1,000 francs for the 6 violins.
No, the price is 8,000 francs.
3,000 francs.
No.
4,000 francs.
I will agree to 7,000 francs.
My last bid is 6,000 francs.
Finally, they agreed on the amount. And then they could close the deal.
I can sell more violins, if you're interested.
Yes, just come, but when can you come?
In a year.
You will be so warmly welcomed.
And then Luigi went the long way back. Now he had money, all intended to be used to buy other violins. He searched the markets, in monasteries, and castles. He bought many good violins. The best deal he made was in the year 1827. He bought a wonderful violin from Count Cosio of Salibu. Although it was built over 100 years before, it was like a new violin. A splendid Stradivarius in perfect condition. This Stradivarius became Luigi Tarisius's dearest possession. A year had passed, and Luigi left for Paris. And he had brought several good violins. He hoped to get a better price than he got previous year. A few of the town's violin makers had turned up, hoping to buy an Italian master violin. Luigi sold all the violins. He said to the violin makers,
I have a Stradivarius at home. It is so wonderful that you have to worship it kneeling.
You'll have to bring it next time you come.
For many years, Luigi set off for Paris. But he never took the violin with him. In Paris, people became impatient.
Are we supposed to wait for that violin, as the Jews are waiting for the Messiah?
This is how this fine Stradivarius got its name, Messiah. On November 1st, 1854, Luigi Tarisio died, in Milan in
Via Lignano.
near Porta Tenalia. He did not have children of his own. Therefore, his relatives inherited the entire violin collection. They had no interest in the violins. But Tarisio also had a lot of money. And the heirs were delighted with them. When Guillaume in Paris knew about Luigi's death, he realized he had to leave in a hurry. Because he wanted to buy Luigi's large collection of violins.
I will buy all the violins for 80,000 francs.
It was a lot of money, and the heirs accepted immediately. By that trade, Guillaume became a millionaire. Because the real value of the violin collection was at least 2 million francs. Guillaume often knelt and worshipped the star of the collection. The Messiah violin found its place in the master's workshop, and it was placed securely behind glass. The Stradivarius Messiah violin from 1716. is in still perfect condition at the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, and it is considered the world's most precious violin. It will never go on the market, but it is insured for £20 million. Around €23 million.